The loans are without collateral, without cosigner. That is, you don't burden your parents at all. We give large loan access up to 100% cost of attendance at very competitive interest rates, and the whole process is customer friendly, convenient, fully online. You do not need to run from one place to another. The documentation is simpler because there is no collateral or cosigner required, and also we are very transparent. We are very transparent when it comes to any hidden fees. We are very fair in terms of how we charge our customers and how interest is calculated. If you repay early, there's no charges, and interest is charged only on reduced amount. So I will let this be the last slide, and this is just for you guys to know from the comfort of the phone, you can reach out to us on multiple ways. And I'm also very active on Quora. So if you have any questions or if you just like to learn more about how Prodigy Finance thinks, check out our profile and learn more about us. So yeah, that was a lot from me. So yeah, that was a lot from me, and I can now hop on to the Q&A. So please start doing your questions, and I'll address. I'll keep addressing them. So I see a question from a few people. Will you be given the slides after the session? So yes, I think Yocket would be very happy to share the slides. Yeah, we can make sure that the slides are sent across to all of the registrants and attendees. Someone has a question on when applying to Prodigy Finance online, it asks which school I want a loan for. What if the school isn't finalized yet? Yes, that is a great question. But I would assume that you have an idea of which schools you're looking to attend, and you can submit multiple applications simultaneously. So if you have applied to 5 schools, you can have 5 simultaneous applications running with Prodigy Finance. Not a problem. So if for all of those 5 schools, you'll know what Prodigy Finance is offering you, and once you get an AgMIC, you can convert the loan for one of those schools for which you receive the AgMIC into a confirmed loan. T. Chekenya has a question, can co-borrower be a non-blood relative? Now, typically with Prodigy Finance, there's no collateral, sorry, no co-borrower required. So you can be more relaxed there. Usually lenders require a blood relative, most likely. Some will do exceptions, but I would highly recommend to check with lenders. And if you don't have a blood relative, do not get stressed. A loan is a big thing and might impact your family relations. So if you have an opportunity to take a no collateral loan, think about it. The general rate of interest for loans, so that's a big range. So for Prodigy Finance, it ranges from 5 to 11. 8 to 10% is a more realistic number for MS and US. For other lenders, it varies from 10 to 13%. I mentioned grace period is a time when you're not required to make any payment. And if someone has a question, what if I have a cosigner in the US? Yes, if you have a cosigner in the US, you can take a loan from a US domestic bank. And those loans tend to be really cost effective. So definitely feel free to explore that as long as you're comfortable, having someone in the US as your cosigner. So someone has a question, how do you calculate your interest in the moratorium period or the grace period of 2.5 years? So the interest is calculated simple and only on the outstanding amount. So if you took 10 lakhs in semester 1 and 10 lakhs again in semester 2, initially interest is charged only on 10 lakhs. And after the second disbursement, simple interest is charged on 20 lakhs. Anand has a question, do you support non-STEM? So we do support some degrees in non-STEM, that is business, law, policy, healthcare. The maximum is 80%. And please check our website for the specific programs. Prakhar has a question, can prepayment of loan from Prodigy Finance be done through a parent's money? Oh yeah, absolutely. Any money you want, that's okay. Is Prodigy Finance a US-based lender? No. Prodigy Finance is a London-based lender, a UK-based lender. We lend to students from 150 countries. We have lent to 132 nationalities till date, to universities and schools in 13 countries, including India, that is Indian School of Business, and in 3 currencies, USD, GBP, Euro. So GB, London, UK currency, US currency, Euro currency. Someone has a great question. What if I take a loan in INR and the rupee goes down a lot, so I gain to stand? Now, that is a very interesting question. And what has happened over the past few months is actually for fall 2018, people who had an Indian loan are moving over to a Prodigy loan. Why? Because initially you had taken an X amount in rupees, and suddenly, because the rupee appreciated, that amount is no longer enough to actually fund your complete education. So Ali, what if you took a $40,000 loan, which right now translates to around a 40 lakh loan, which right now translates to around, what would that be? 35 to $40,000? No, $60,000. So that's 40 lakh, $60,000. And what if your and $60,000 assuming is your total cost of attendance? And what if rupee appreciated and now your USD value is no longer 60, but it's gone down to 50, and now you need to compensate for that additional $10,000? Your Indian bank might say no because that's not the amount they approved for. Your parents might not have that much money upfront. So you are actually under a lot of stress. You are under a lot of emotional stress. You're under a lot of financial stress, and just stress in general, which could be avoided if you just take a loan in USD. So yes, you do have a stand. You do stand a chance to gain a lot, but the downside of a situation where there's such an immense stress on your family and you, where you don't have enough money to actually fund your degree, with the possibility that maybe I need to leave, or I'll leave the MS degree for now because I can't pay for year 2 because of how the currency has performed. That's a huge risk. And that is a huge risk that I believe can be mitigated with a USD loan. And that's a huge risk when someone is taking such a massive step in your life. You are taking a massive decision in your personal, professional, and family life. You are moving from one place to another, a new country. You are changing your career path, and you're moving away from your family and having such a big impact on their financial situation as well. So to me, it seems like yes, there's a chance to gain, but with a potentially huge downside that you may want to avoid and account for. So Rolene has a question, moving to the next one. Can I apply before ACMEC? Yes, you can apply any point of time. And if there's no documentation, there's no fees, just pick up one of these schools and programs you have applied for admission and submit an application with Prodigy Finance. And once you submit the application, and if you borrow a loan from us, the disbursements are made per semester, not total per semester. One thing I would add off the cup of my of the top of the head is lenders will encourage you to take the full amount before I-20 or visa. Don't. Your loan letter is used and acceptable for I-20 visa. If you take the money upfront, you will be charged interest for the whole amount upfront. That's a huge amount. Don't do that. And work with a lender which is willing to make disbursements per semester. And there are a few questions. Do we need a cosigner? If you are borrowing from Prodigy Finance, we will never ask for collateral or cosigner. None of our loans, we have funded to 15,000 students. None of our loans have a collateral or cosigner. And we do support a range of universities, top 100 in the US, lots and lots of popular ones like USC, NEU, NYU, UT Austin, UT Dallas, Georgia Tech, Purdue, So many, I can't even recollect. So CMU, Dartmouth, so lots of universities. Go check out our website and you'll see more information there. And someone has a question, is there any repayment fine? So I've answered it before, there is none. And if people are curious about what is your rate of interest, dude, I can't answer that because it varies for each customer, which school and program they're going to, and what is their profile on both of them. We personalize and uniquely assess your loan terms for each application. There's a data-driven model, so all the information put in the application goes into a model. It's automated and it throws out the result, which we give it to you in the form of a quote, and it's instantaneous. It takes a few seconds, hardly a few seconds. So to know your rate of interest, it's going to be between 8 to 10% realistically. Submit the application and you'll know the real interest that you will be offered. If someone has a question, does Prodigy Finance offer loans only for universities in the US? So a lot of the universities we support are in the US, but we support 13 countries for lending. Do have a look at your list. And Gautam has a question, few universities need sanction letter at the time of application. So unfortunately, we can't give sanction letter at the time of application. We need an admit before we can give you a confirmed loan that is a sanctioned loan. We do look at the student academic profile. We do not ask you for the undergrad details. We ask you we ask you more about your financial details. The biggest things are your credit report, just to make sure everything's okay. Also on any financial support, your proof of address, your proof of savings, and academic letter. It's not really challenging, and we do not believe that your undergrad performance is always reflected in your postmaster's salary. The interest, Prashant has a question, how is it charged? The interest, I think I answered this before, is charged only on the outstanding amount. We disperse per semester, so outstanding amount is smaller. If you repay early, outstanding amount reduces. And for those who are wondering about the loan application, the loan is depending on each individual university and each candidate. You might get different loan codes for different universities you might be thinking of attending. 2 or 3 students attending same program can get different codes because of who they are and their profile. Someone has a question, on which basis does Prodigy Finance sanction loan? So yes, it is without collateral, it is without cosigner, a co-borrower. Basically, what we do is we understand what will be your likely income after graduating. Hypothetically, if you're attending Masters of Computer Science in CMU, we know, and this is a hypothetical example, don't hold me against it, I'm just simplifying our process. But if we know that after graduating from there, you're expected to $100,000, we can assume that you can pay $18,000 per year as a loan amount, which comes down to $1,500 per month. That is your EMI. If I know your EMI, if I'm the one deciding your interest rate, if I am deciding the loan tenure, then I can basically calculate what is the total loan you can afford today. And that is fundamentally what Prodigy Finance does. Prodigy Finance is more of a data science company where we understand your future income, and on that basis, understand what loan you can afford today. And this is not something we've just started. We have been doing this since 2007, 12 years. We have lent to over 15,000 students. Last year, we raised $1 billion from marquee investors such as Goldman Sachs, Deutsche Bank, Credit Suisse. These are all top financial institutions who believe in the business model, who believe in the math we run. But more importantly, they believe in who you are as customers who are going to be doing great things after graduating from your MS. Next up, there are There's a question on what if I don't have any GRE or GMAT? That's fine, that's okay. Someone has a question on 10% US lender is equivalent to 15% Indian rupee. I don't agree with that. People will come up with different things. Now, I have an answer for this on Quora, which I'm actually going to post so that you guys can read it. I'm going to post this to everyone. Actually, I'm going to make this a sticky message so everybody can see this. So fundamentally, the assumption being made is you will be, the rupee will appreciate. There is no guarantee the rupee will appreciate. And if it does, it can appreciate while you're studying. And if it appreciates while you're studying, then you actually may not have enough funds to complete your education, like your own, you earn a salary after graduating and work in the US. The grace period offered by Prodigy Finance is 6 months after graduation. And yes, interest will be charged during grace period, but you can prepay if you want. Someone has a question for submitting an application for one university, can I submit for another? Yes, you can submit applications for multiple programs or universities at the same time, not a problem at all. What is a credit bureau report and what is the effect on getting a loan approved? Great. So basically, we want to make sure if you have any other loans or not. Most of the MS candidates don't have other loans because you guys are young and are responsible kids / adults. We want to make sure that you do not have any loan against your name, and a credit bureau is a report which collates all the potential loans you have taken in the past. You can go to CIBIL or Experian and they will give you a credit report, and in case you have had no activity, they will give you a report saying there has been no activity against your name. We just want proof of that. That is it. Very simple, very straightforward. And if you have any questions, you can ask our service team. Someone has a question. This is the amount I want without collateral cosigner. What interest I can expect? Good. Submit the application. That's how you know. I can't tell you. The Prachi has a question. This is my CIBIL score. Is it good or bad? Prachi, we do not ask for CIBIL score. We do not typically look at CIBIL score. We want to look at your history to make sure you have any other loans or not. And if yes, have we accounted for them or not? That is it. We do not believe your CIBIL score is a reflection on your earning potential in the US. Ajay has a question. What if the student passes away during the loan period? We'll absorb the cost. The most important thing about Prodigy Finance is there is no burden on parents. Even if the student struggles to repay, we will not harass the parents. We will not go after them. The loan is between the student and Prodigy Finance. If the student passes away, we will not burden the family. We will absorb the cost. Santosh, can we get 100% of tuition fee as loan? You can get 100% of the tuition fee. You can get 100% of tuition plus living. You can get up to the full I-20 amount. So feel free to play on our website and see that. If we complete the OPT and return back to India, how is the repayment done and requirement from your end? So there are a lot of our customers who repay from India. We have built dedicated repayment channels for them. We even have a mobile app for repaying borrowers, and you can repay your whole amount through the app. Very simple, very straightforward, no tension. If someone gets a fee waiver or scholarship, you can get a loan amount to be decreased. Absolutely, let us know. And the admin fee is charged only on the decreased amount. So if your amount going from 50 lakhs to 30 lakhs, we'll only charge on 30 lakhs, not on 50, which is a fair way to ask, fair way to charge. We cannot do Australian universities at this point again. I'm sorry, Vishnu. Chetan has a question. In Visa, they ask us who are our sponsors, and we mostly get parents. But Prodigy loan is without collateral, without cosigner. In Visa, you should always tell your sponsors are parents. it gives them confidence that you have liquid funds, and it also gives you a reason to say that you have roots back to India. Having a loan for Prodigy Finance does not change that, and keep going the way you have mentioned. Santosh has a question: when can we start the loan process? Is it after an ACMIC? No, you start the process right now. You can get the quote without an ACMIC, without any documentation, without any fee. If you know what loan you are, if you know which universities you applied to and you're waiting for your admits, that's okay, that's great. Start the application now, get the codes, understand them, learn what they mean, and once you have an admit, convert that into a loan offer, a confirmed loan offer. This way, you know what's the biggest advantage you have? You complete your loan process way before others, which means you get a visa slot way before others, which means you are sorted with your MS in US tasks way before others, and you can take a chill pill and relax. Next up is Vaishali asking about credit bureau. So basically, credit bureau for us is just a check on, we will ask questions about your financial background, which we need to verify from the application. Okay, if someone has an outstanding loan, that's absolutely fine. You're still eligible. Just please tell us in the application. If you don't, we'll have to reassess a loan and you might get a different quote. So please be honest. If you have any more questions, please reach out to someone has a question on how we can reach out to you. So there's a toll-free number, there's email, there's live chat, there's Quora. We were active on Yocket groups. We are doing an AMA tomorrow. So please go forward and reach out to us multiple ways. And if someone has a question about how the application is set up, say someone has a question about CMU Silicon Valley versus Pittsburgh on where to apply, please reach out to a service team and they would be best placed to help you out. You can create multiple applications for different universities. Couple has a very interesting question that he's applying for construction management, which is a STEM degree, but the department is not listed in the website. So hey Kapil, thank you for posting this. Why don't you, what I would recommend is email us, info@prodigyfinance.com. Let us know about these universities and we will make the application live for them. Once the application is live, it usually takes a week, you can submit the application. So the starting would be send an email to us with the details. Just mention the program name, university, as well as a link to a website of the university. That would be helpful, and we'll make it live ASAP. We do not ask for undergrad performance, so that's okay. Is there an upper limit on the loan value? Yes, the upper limit is 100% of tuition plus living, because that is more than enough to complete your education. If you're taking a semester-wise loan of say $10,000 each semester at a rate of 9%, when the first semester amount is dispersed, $10,000, interest is charged only on that $10,000. Semester 2 starts, $10,000 are dispersed again. Now, the outstanding value has grown from $10,000 to $20,000. So interest is now charged on $20,000. Same case, semester 3, $30,000. Semester 4, $40,000. Grace period, moratorium, $40,000. And once you start repaying, it will go down. There's no EMI to be paid during your master's. You make your first payment 6 months after graduation. If you want to change your application after submitting, there are 2 ways to go about it. You could email info@prodigyfinance.com and we will make the edits on your behalf, or you could cancel that application, that is withdraw that application, and you will be able to submit another application. Abipsa and a few others have a question, which is how important is candidates' academic background? So for us, we believe that academic background is more important for getting an academic. We as the financial lender come in assuming you have an academic from that place and the university understands your academic background. For us, we are more interested in what kind of salaries students get after graduating from that program, and also what is your current financial status that will reflect in your future income. So less about academics and more about financial background. There is a 2.5% processing fee, but it incorporates everything. There is no insurance, there's no FX conversion charges, there's none of that. And it is added to the loan amount. You can prepay it if you want. The repayment currency will always be USD if you're taking borrowing a loan in USD. Loan sanction letter for Prodigy Finance is sufficient. I know customers who have taken only Prodigy Finance loan, 100% I-20 amount, and got the visa approved. We have linked to 15,000 customers. A lot of them are currently in the US, and you can talk to them if you have best connected with them. Yeah, so a few questions on visa. Do you guys trust us? There's no issues, and we have been lending for a long time, so no problem. We do, however, when it comes to disbursements, we disperse the money directly to the university. And if you have taken money for living expenses, the university transfers to you. What it effectively means for you is that if you are looking to fund your travel, that is your flight tickets, etc., Prodigy Finance cannot help you there. If you get, and there are a few questions on how interest is charged. So someone has a question, if they get money, a lottery say, and want to repay while they're studying, absolutely, you can do that. There is no fine, and also your outstanding balance would be lower, so you'll be charged less interest going forward. And the total amount, Onkar, is up to 100% of tuition plus living, but that's up to. The final amount is determined by the actual algorithm, which determines what your future income will be. Okay, great. So those were a lot of questions from me. I'm so excited to have such an engaged crowd. I'm again posting the Quora link, so please feel free to follow me there, learn more about our company, and the profile has links to our website. Check out our website, what Prodigy Finance is doing and how we can help you. Submit the application. It doesn't take any effort, and you learn more about Prodigy Finance and how we can help you. Most importantly, though, I would say that please be wary of the different loan terms. I went through all of them. A lot of them are hidden. A lot of them may not be transparent, and it's very important for you to also consider the emotional and financial burden of a lot of decisions. Where Prodigy Finance really stands out is that you can actually fund your education without parents being involved. The loan terms do not involve parents at all. The loan is between Prodigy Finance and the student. There is no burden on parents to repay. If you have a repayment challenge, we'll sit with you and figure it out. If something happens to you, we'll absorb the loss, but we do not burden the parents. You do not have to put up collateral. You do not have to put up cosigner. You are able to, let me rephrase that. You get an academic on your ability. When you do your SOPs for your applications, you mention about your desires and your ambition and your past record, right? You probably don't mention about your family. Similarly, we believe that you all have great potential in the future, and it's not just us, it's investors such as top VC funds, it's top financial banks such as Goldman Sachs who are giving money to us to lend to you. So yeah, check out our website, keep in touch, check us on Quora, other places, and please spread the word. Thank you so much for the game, and yeah, have fun. Bye.